Vedanta Swami, Namaste, Saraswati, Vani Sarani, Nubishes, Nivadita, Shastadeshita, Jai Jai Shri Caitanya, Jai Nityananda, Jai Advaita Chandra, Jai Guru Bhakta, Shri Krishna Caitanya, Nityananda, Jai Advaita Gadadhara, Srivastava Gaur Bhakta, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Hare, Hare Hare, Hare Shri Guru Devata, Shri Prabhu, Shri Chaitanya, Ishwaram. Okay, if you can go to the verse number, we will start from the verse number 2 only. We will only read the translations. But Prabhu, you go to the advanced view and keep only the translation and purport on. Just everything can switch it off. Advanced view. Translation and purport, this calls switch. Whenever there is a specific verse that comes, I will tell you to switch on the. So let's read from verse number 2. All glories to who wants to start reading.
I can read Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Okay, so let's start off with Antaryami Prabhu, then Gaurav Prabhu. Yes, Antaryami Prabhu, please read. You can zoom it a little bit, Gaurav Prabhu.
Yeah. All glories to Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. All glories to Lord Nityananda. All glories to Advaita Acharya. And all glories to all devotees of the Lord.
So this is Krishna Goswami is actually writing this, right? So we will always say the Mangalacharya prayer before, because this is one of the important prayers which we will all chant before moving Chaitanya Charitamrita. Please continue, Prabhu. Now, there are three brothers, Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami. Sanatana Goswami is the elder, next to Rupa Goswami. Next is called Anupama, is also called Sri Vallabha. So, Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami are employed as the ministers in the Hussain Shah's kingdom. And they somehow see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu after he takes sannyas in Ramakeli, I think. I think that's what is the case. And then after that, slowly, they are very influential ministers. And this Hussain Shah was very much dependent on them for everything. But they wanted to give it up slowly, the material this thing attack. So as a result, first Rupa Goswami and in the Ramakeli, Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami meet them. Then when they are devising way to somehow get out of this Hussain Shah's administration, Rupa Goswami and the other brother Anupama, they go to meet Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So what we will do, please we will take 10 verses each and read, so that because there's a lot of translations only will be mainly coming and some purpose you will read. But please read the next verse. Keep going, Prabhu. I just wanted to give a precursor before.
Text 3 translation. After meeting Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the village of Ramkeli, the brothers Rupa and Sanatana returned to their homes. Text 4 translation.
You can tell 4 translation, 5 translation like that. Just keep it.
Okay. Yeah, the two brothers devised a means whereby they could give up their material activities. For this purpose, they appointed 2 brahmanas and paid them a large amount of money.
So this money will come to help them in the future. Please read.
So from where they got money, Prabhu? From the
Prabhu, they are very
their own money. Okay.
their own money
Yeah,
only. They are the chief ministers and like that. They are very influential ministers in the Nawab Hussein's kingdom.
Text 5. The Brahmanas performed religious ceremonies and chanted the holy name of Krishna so that the two brothers might attain shelter at the lotus feet of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu very soon.
Hmm.
6. At this time, Sri Rupa Goswami returned home, taking with him large quantities of riches loaded in boats.
Hmm.
Srila Rupa, Srila Rupa Goswami divided the wealth that he brought from back home. He gave 50% in charity to Brahmanas and Vaishnavas and 25% to his relatives.
Hmm.
So I think this is very important. This is what
Hmm.
is
Yeah, this, yeah.
whatever we earn,
Prabhupada
yeah,
writes in the purport
50%.
also.
Yeah.
You can
This
read
is
the
a
purport.
practical example. This is a practical example how one should divide his money and retire from household life. 50% of one's money should be distributed to qualified and pure devotees of the Lord. 25% may be given to the family members, and 25% may be kept for personal use in case of emergency.
So this 25% is what comes to their help for emergency. Uh, Please read further.
So, Prabhu, that means we can save only 25%. Remaining
Sorry?
all we should, no, whatever we are getting, so
Mhm.
25% only we can keep for
Yeah.
our needs as well as for saving.
Yeah.
Okay.
But practically nowadays nobody follows it so much. But one thing that I remember, so as Kavichandra Maharaj told very nicely, is that we should not consider only the donation that we put inside the hundi or the donation that we are giving to say somebody in a check or in an through transfer. That is alone not the thing that we are giving to pure devotees. Suppose you are driving a car and you want to drop somebody from one place to another, one devotee or somebody, or you are going to a program, or you are offering some foods or flowers or some seva to the temple or some food. They should also be considered as your expenses as part of the 50% or so. Otherwise, who is paying for the petrol when you are going to the temple all the day? Or you are going to pick up somebody from the airport, dropping somebody in the airport, something. This all consumes your money only, now. You understand? So that is a practical thing that I like very much because many times we are impractical. Nobody considers it. See, suppose you are going to pick me up. Suppose I come to the airport and you are picking me up from the airport. Uh, Either I should pay the amount for your charges, toll, everything, or whatever your this thing should be considered as that is offered for in the expense for the devotional service. So it's very important to understand this. Otherwise, you will end up being fanatical, and the people also will take advantage of that.
Okay, sir.
So always some savings needs to be kept on. This is very important. Prabhu, you are about to say something.
So, Prabhu, so as a household persons, I know, at least from my side, we may not able to give 50%. At least we can do something, right? I mean, whatever we are doing,
No, no, we have to do
giving,
something. Definitely, definitely.
yeah,
We have to do something. At least, start off with 10, 20%, 10%. Prabhu,
it definitely
that's why
my
I told
heart,
you.
yeah,
See, that's why I told you that even the groceries that you buy to offer to Krishna some bhoga, that is also considered as offered in the devotional service. You have to include that in the 50%, right? So, who is doing all this maintenance? You have to do. When you are doing it, you include it. It's part of your expenses or offering for the Lord. It's another thing if you are going to do going for example this sense gratification or whatever, that will not be included. But if you are doing it for Krishna's service, it can be included. That is where we have to be honest. Which one we want to include in the same answer we should include in the. See, I was in Bombay Mira Road, and I had another program in Thane, so I had to go to Thane. As it is, the devotees they are planning to send me the vehicle, whatever, from the Thane temple. But nice Prabhuji, Bhaktodev Prabhu, who is in Mira Road, Prabhuji actually offered to drop me in the thing there, to the temple program there. In the process, he would have spent some this thing, some touching for the petrol and taking the car and everything. So that part is response towards devotional service only, because he's doing it without any expectation. I may not be a devotee, whatever, but then he's doing it without expectation. So this is how we should include them. We should not be. Otherwise, if I just think this is called the entitlement. Otherwise, I just think, hey, I am a devotee. You should drop me here. You should take me there, etc., etc. Command I do, then this is not devotional service at all. Why should somebody spend their money to take this body? That is how we should think. So Maharaj always taught us this thing that do not become a liability to others. If you are willing to do some, if you are able to remove their suffering to a certain extent, to whatever little, to the limit of your conviction in consciousness and devotional service, then you do that, but without any expectation. You see, Narad Muni doesn't ask for any conveyance or anything from anybody. Does he say, I came all the way from Kailash to here, you give me the conveyance charge? Does that? No. Right? So purity is a very important thing. When Prabhupada went to the place, he was not asking the those newbies to offer donation for the gulab jamuns and rotis and dal khichdi and all that they were eating. What does it show? It shows that the dependence on Krishna is even more. So that will improve the purity of our message that is happening. Otherwise, there will always be exploitation tendency, Prabhu. Everything we will want to get from somebody, you get me this, you get me that, you get me this, you get me that. There are many times devotees get fed up because, see, I'm not pointing out to anybody, but these are instances that have happened in devotees' lives. That say some senior devotee or a sannyasi or somebody going to some place. As it is hosting them, it requires a lot of money, time to spend, and all that thing. And on top of it, there are some who still ask, can you get me a laptop? Can you get me a phone? Can you get me this thing? Can you get me that thing? The devotees will feel very much embarrassed or very much pain to see, because they can't to arrange for them to come and arrange these things itself is a big thing. On top of it, when they ask, you give me this, you give me that, then there is so much of expectation and dependency. How will the message go through? Instead of removing their suffering, we are actually increasing their suffering. It's a nice question that Parvati Mata asked Shiva. I think it is in Shiva Purana, Padma Purana, I don't know exactly, but very nice question she asked. Who is the most genuine guru, or who can we accept as the bona fide guru? Then Lord Shiva answers very nicely. He says, Guravo Bahavo Santi, Shishya Vitapaharaka, Sadguru Durlabam Devi, Shishya Santapaharaka. There are so many gurus in this world, uh, those who steal away the wealth and riches of the disciple. But Sadguru is very, very rare. Real true Guru is very rare who steals away the miseries and sufferings of the disciple. Santapa, their tapa, to remove that their miseries and sufferings and anxieties, that kind of Sadguru is very rare. They can't think that, hey, I am doing this project, you should help me. Uh, Otherwise, what is the thing that you are doing? Well, the person may not have the eagerness, or he may not even have the thing to do. He may have so many other expenses in his family, which he may not be able to tell. So we have to understand others' sufferings. That is the art of appreciating others' pain. This part is real devotion. Sorry, Suresh Prabhu, you raise your hand.
Prabhuji, you are talking the very paltry expenses done for the gurus and sevas in the house, or receiving the devotees. Now the big question is that today millions of money is left over in the bank behind them, and nobody is claiming that, and that is being unclaimed the money that in millions and trillions money is going. That money
Yeah.
individually, if they can divert it to partially to the Brahmanas or Brahman Seva or the Guru Seva or the temple Seva.
Oh, you are very you are very correct, Prabhu. You are see one thing. The reason I am telling this now, Prabhu, um, it is very good if somebody does like that. It is the best thing, Prabhu. But it should not be imposed upon. That's what I am trying to say. We cannot impose somebody saying you have to give this much. Why in your bank you have to lying idle? Why can't you give it to me? That kind of a thing should not be there. When we are approaching somebody, we should approach with a mood of only giving our time and this thing to solve their problem. And those who are ready to give, or those who have the wealth to give, on their own, it should come. And this should come through a cordial relationship that builds over time. You understand? If I go with this attitude that, hey, I am coming to your home, why can't you give me this? Then that is a with expectation, right? So it is ultimately Krishna inspiring the devotees to give or take, Prabhu. So in this case, the verse number 6, 10, 6 is the best one to remember and understand. That gives the perfect combination of the charitable person and those who are looking for something. Prabhu, can you bring that up, Prabhu? 6, 10, 6. Nunam swarta parolokshena so naveda parasankata. Yeti vedanaya cheta neti nahe disvara. Yes. If you come down to the translation, maybe Suresh Prabhu, you can read this. Prabhu, you are reading?
Suresh Prabhuji, you are on mute.
Those who are too self-interested beg something from others, not knowing of others' pain. But if the beggar knew the difficulty of giver, he would not ask for anything. Similarly, he who is able to give charity does not know the beggar's difficulty, for otherwise he would not refuse to give the beggar anything he might want to in charity. That's it.
See, this is the beauty, when Sudama went also, he did not utter a single word. He was in dire difficulty, but still he was not saying anything to Krishna also. So that shows the real thing. And Krishna also knew the pain of Sudama. So without his asking, he gave everything. And I think Piyush Prabhu, he posted, Prabhu, did you post this message in the WhatsApp group just now? Very profound message that he is sharing. Is that related to this, Prabhu? I saw that to be related to this because you didn't say anything. wanted to ask you.
Yes, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. So this is a very beautiful thing that he has posted there, Prabhupada's quote. Oh, both of you have posted. Maybe Suresh Prabhu, you should read it out on me. You can ask Prabhupada's quote. It's a very nice quote.
We can ask favor from anyone, but we must know that nobody can favor us unless sanctioned by the Supreme Lord, Supreme Personality of God.
So this is very important to note, Prabhu. Prabhupada is giving us a very profound message here. Even if somebody is helping us, they cannot help us without Krishna's sanction. So it is Krishna has sanctioned them to help us. Not because we are somebody great or whatever. Something Krishna realized that, okay, this might be of some use to them. So that is first point. Please continue, Prabhu.
Suppose we approach a rich man to favor us with some contribution. Krishna is there within. And if he says, you give him this money, the man will give us. If he is not so fortunate now, therefore Krishna did not dictate him. So there is nothing to be sorry. This should be our principle.
Yes, such a beautiful message there. How powerful and profound this message is. Here, Prabhupada is bringing in the real actor behind the transaction, that is Krishna, and removes the unnecessary baggage of judgmentalism in our heart. You see, if somebody gives, you will think, oh, he's a nice, charitable person. Next time, if I go also, he will give. So that kind of a thing will develop. Somebody doesn't give, then you say, oh, he's a conjuice, he's not giving, etc. So here, the person who is giving also is inspired by Krishna. The person who is not inspired, not giving also is inspired by Krishna. So there is no point in branding somebody as charitable or miserly, etc. It is ultimately Krishna who is working based on our purity also, our need also. Something maybe may not need. So Krishna will think unnecessarily why I should give him is not needed. I will give him bhakti. With bhakti, he will be happy. If I give him money, he will be even more anxious. Like that. So this statement, Prabhu Maharaj always said, this should be the standard of our transaction in any transactions in our relationships. We don't go with an expectation with anybody, and those who have, they also should give. They like you said, Suresh Prabhu. It is the maturity that comes by their sincere bhakti. Eventually, by doing bhakti, they become detached. And when they become detached, they will feel that, oh, this much money is not needed for me. It is more for me. Then they will give it openly, they'll just give it as share. And we cannot insist, hey, this person is giving, why are you not giving? It's up to Krishna. Ultimately, there might be some things that he might have, some needs also, which we don't know. Yes, Prabhu.
Prabhuji, that shows that Krishna will take out that money. Going money is Krishna's wish actually. Krishna's will and Krishna's sanction.
Yes.
And keeping that money with him also Krishna's sanction, and whether he will suffer or he will enjoy, that is a different story.
Yes. Maybe Krishna likes that bank manager very much, that he makes this person miserly and that person dies and all the money goes to the bank and he is doing Harinam Sankirtan. Who knows? I mean, according to the karma, no, you also cannot hold it. Like last week we discussed, no, that money stays with Devadatta, then with Vishnumitra, like that. Different people it goes to different people. It doesn't stay with one person anywhere. So as long as it is with us, we can use it. If we are not using it, then we are not fortunate enough to use it in Krishna's service. That's what it is. It entangle us more and more in that. I think we should move on. The story we have to read, etc. So let's read. Keep reading. Verse number 8, I think. Oh, sorry, Hemnath Prabhu, you raise your hand. You are going to say something.
Yeah, Prabhu, related to this, actually, for all practical reasons, right, we should actually put ourselves in a position of the donor also, right? We mostly think that we...
Yes, that's what that verse means, Prabhu. That's what
Yeah,
that
yeah. I
was.
mean,
Personal
that I was
Bhagga,
actually.
yes, Prabhu, please complete your statement. You were saying something.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I was actually contemplating on this point when before that verse, Prabhu. So many a times, actually, one of my project managers in my previous company told that he told that Prabhupada told this actually. I mean, he's not connected directly to ISKCON, but he said you should be spiritual, not ritual. And many a times, actually, this happens. Thinking ourselves to be very elevated and thinking the donor to be in a level very lesser than us, and then think that we have to put ourselves in that position whether we may give that amount of donation if we are a non-devotee or so kind of. This is what I usually think. Right.
Yeah, yeah. Now, one other thing we should also understand that whatever we are giving is actually nothing. It's like a drop in the ocean, right? You may think that I have given this many lakhs, this many crores, whatever, but it is like a drop in the ocean for Krishna. Good points, Prabhu. Thank you so much. So this is why Rupa Goswami and Sanat Goswami, they all of them, the Raghunath Das Goswami, all the Shat Goswamis, they represented Vairagya to the ultimate level, at the maximum level. So please read
Text 8. He kept 1/4 of his wealth with a respectable Brahmana. He kept this for his personal safety because he was expecting some legal complications.
This is
9.
Rupa Goswami doing it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Next,
Yeah.
Prabhu.
He deposited 10,000 coins, which were later spent by Sanatana Goswami in the custody of a local Bengali grocer.
He knew that something will happen to Sanatana Goswami, so she left some 10,000 gold coins with a local grocery shop person. Next, Prabhu.
Text 10. Sri Rupa Goswami heard that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has returned to Jagannath Puri and was preparing to go to Vrindavana through the forest.
From here
11.
on, someone
Yeah.
else wants to take over.
May I read, Prabhuji? Hare Krishna.
I think it was
Yes, Prabhuji.
after
Text
Gaurav Prabhu. Gaurav Prabhu was.
Yeah. Let him
After
read
that,
first.
Prasad Prabhu, you can take.
Yeah, sure,
Maybe
Prabhuji.
we can read a little faster. Just read the transcriptions alone. Don't say every time text 11, text 12, and I'll just keep moving.
Yes, Prabhu.
11, yes, Prabhu.
Srila Rupa Goswami sent 2 people to Jagannath Puri to find out when Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would depart for Vrindavan.
So now, by this time, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has already taken sannyas and he's in Jagannath Puri and he's attempting to go to Vrindavan. 1-2 times he tried and he couldn't go, so it's fine to fix. Yes, please continue.
Text 12. Srila Rupa Goswami told the 2 men, you are to return quickly and let me know when he will depart. Then I shall make the proper arrangements. Text 13. While Sanatana Goswami was in Gaudadesha, he was thinking, the Nawab is very pleased with me. I certainly have an obligation.
So now here the thing shifts to Sanatana Goswami. Because Rupa Goswami is already doing the other side.
Text 14. If the Nawab somehow or the other becomes angry with me, I shall be greatly relieved. That is my conclusion.
This is such an amazing thing. All of us who are working, we hang upside down to somehow or other please the manager or please the boss. Here the total opposite. We want to make him get upset so that somehow or other he will believe. This is the beauty of doing the duty immaculately well. Sanatana Goswami and Rupa Goswami were so immaculate in their prescribed duty of their minister job that the Nawab was so fully dependent on them. For us, it is like anytime they will kick us out. So we are so much you have to go by whatever they are saying and do whatever they say, whether it is legal, illegal, whatever.
Prabhuji,
yes.
Somebody else will have to read. I need to collect, Prabhuji. The parcel has come, so I need to.
Yeah. Sure.
This is similar to Vidura case, no? Vidura getting fired from Duryodhana is similar, no?
Yes, definitely. Hari Prasad Prabhu, maybe you take over.
Yes, sure, Prabhuji. Screen shared. I think it is
Oh,
stopped.
fair. Who can do that?
I'll do Prabhuji. Oh, Hari Bol.
Yes. Siddharamataji, you do it.
Yes.
You read, yeah, it's verse
Oh.
number 15.
Yes, 1 minute. Yes.
This is the most sweetest section I've ever read. I keep on reading this again and again, especially Sanatana Goswami's meeting with Caitanya Mahaprabhu. Because it's like this, Prabhu's Mataji. There are many times, our spiritual masters give so much easy access to us. They come all the way to meet us in spite of their ill health and all that. But you actually see, if we have to meet our spiritual master, we have to take all the risks, even the risk of our life, put the life at stake to somehow or other get their darshan or hear their instructions. That is what the thing between Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami, they teach us. They are willing to risk their life. For others, maybe it is like more to do with, I'm not comparing, but just to give the intensity of this thing. With Raghunath Das Goswami, it was mainly his parents. Parents are anyway loving. But here they are dealing with a person who is completely not aware of the Vedic culture. He is anti this thing and is so cruel. He kills people left, right, and center. So passionate, and they have to give up on him. And so, such a dangerous situation they are in. Still, they ensure that even at the risk of their life, they would go and surrender to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. One side they are very much devoted. I mean, very much immaculate in their service. That is why they are so important in this Hussain Shah's kingdom, in the ministry. At the same time, that doing their prescribed duty so well, along with that, they are also doing their Bhagavatam so nicely. They are following the principles of Bhagavatam so nicely, and they are so much unflinchingly surrendered to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Very important. So please continue.
Yeah, sure,
was
Prabhu.
that?
Yeah, text 15.
On the pretext of bad health.
Yeah, on the pretext of bad health, Sanatana Goswami remained home. Thus, he gave up government service and did not go to the royal court. Text 16.
So he faked his health issue.
Yeah. The greedy masters of his clerical and secretarial staff performed the government duties while Sanatana personally remained home and discussed the revealed scriptures. So, Prabhu, you want me to read the purport or you can go to the direct
No, we can
translation?
continue to the next translation.
Translation.
The next translation, we have to read the purport. It's a very sweet purport. But
Okay, sure.
now, so read this next one.
Yeah, text 17. Sri Sanatana Goswami used to discuss Srimad Bhagavatam in an assembly of 20 or 30 learned Brahmana scholars.
See, this verse has to be, this verse we have to read. It's a very nice verse because it's very much connected to the name of our group also. Bhattacharya Pandita Vishad Krishalana Bhagavata Vichara Karena Sabhateva Siya. So the Bhagavata Vichar word comes here. And Prabhupada gives a nice meaning here, for what is Bhagavata Vichara. Actually, this is exactly what we are doing now, in a much better way, maybe, let us say. So Sanatana Goswami was doing with a group of nice scholar devotees, Brahmana devotees and all, sitting together at home and doing this vichar, Bhagavata Vichar. That's a beautiful thing. I never knew this word, this phrase is there in Chaitanya Charitamrita. We just Vicharana Paro, we named our group. But when I saw today this, I think it's very interesting. Bhagavata Vichar. So Prabhupada writes it as description of Srimad Bhagavatam. And it's such a nice thing, no? This is the
Yes.
parampara thing. We are following Sanatana Goswami's parampara seva. So it's really sweet.
Hari Bol,
Please
Prabhuji.
continue.
Yeah, purport. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakura gives the following commentary on the words Bhagavata Vichara. As confirmed in the Mundaka Upanishad, there are two kinds of educational systems. Vedidye,
Just leave the
Yeah.
translate. Go
Okay,
direct.
okay, Prabhu. Yeah, there are two kinds of educational system. One deals with transcendental knowledge, Paravidya, and the other one with material knowledge, Aparavidya. All the Vedas, the Rig Veda, Aparavidya. All the Vedas, the Rig Veda, Yajur Veda, Samaveda, and Atharva Veda, along with their corollaries known as Siksha, Kalpa, Vyakarana, Nirukta, Chanda, and Jyotisha, belong to the inferior system of a material knowledge, Aparavidya. By Paravidya, one can understand the Akshara, the Brahman, or the absolute truth. As far as the Vedic literature is concerned, the Vedanta Sutra is accepted as a Paravidya. Srimad Bhagavatam is an explanation of that Paravidya. Those who aspire for liberation, mukti or moksha, and introduce themselves as Vedantika are also equal to those groups
Vedantika means
as
Vedanta Vadis.
okay, bro. Are also Vedantika are also equal to those groups aspiring to improve religion, dharma, economic development, artha, and sense gratification, kama. Dharma, artha, kama, and moksha are all called Chatur Varga. They are all within the system of inferior material knowledge. Any
So,
literature,
Vedanta, see, we have to understand this a bit clearly. Vedanta Sutra, right? Vedas, Vedanta Sutra, that is actually transcends the subject matter only. And then Bhagavatam is a commentary of that. It's an exponent, explanation or expounding that thing into a more easily understandable thing. That is what we know very clearly. But in Vedas also, there are two kinds of things. Dharmartha Kama Moksha kind of a thing, and you have the Paravidya also. But predominantly with the Dharmartha Kama Moksha, when people go with that kind of approach to Vedanta, they are called Vedantikas, Vedantikas. And they focus mainly on the Dharma, Kama, Moksha, and their Karma Kanda, Jnana Kanda, not Upasana Kanda. And even if they do that, they do it with a material mentality. So when they do like that, the Dharma, the Kama, Moksha thing, they are apara only. But when people go towards Srimad Bhagavatam, which is the spiritual part of that transcendental knowledge, of that Vedic knowledge, then we are into Paravidya. That's the differences to be very clear. Please continue, Prabhu. Any literature? Prabhu, you're on mute.
sorry, Prabhuji, sorry. Any literature giving information about the spiritual world, spiritual life, spiritual identity, and the spiritual soul is called Paravidya. Srimad Bhagavatam does not have anything to do with the materialistic way of life. It gives transcendental information to educate people in the superior system of Paravidya. Sanatana Goswami was engaged in discussing the Bhagavata Vidya, which means he discussed a transcendental superior knowledge. Those who are karmis, jnanis, or yogis are not actually fit to discuss Srimad Bhagavatam. Only Vaishnavas or pure devotees are fit to discuss that literature as stated in the Srimad Bhagavatam itself 12, 13, 18.
This verse is clear to read. Srimad Bhagavatam Puranamalam Yadvaishnavānaṁ priyam Yasmin Paramahംస్యమేకమమలం Jnanam Param Diyate. Yatra Jnana Viraga Bhakti Sahitam Naikarmyama Vishnatam Tatrunman Supatan Vicharana Paro Bhaktya Vimuche. See this here also the Vicharana Paro is there. Prabhupada is
Yes,
quoting
Prabhuji.
this word because of that connection also. And we also gave the name based on this one, Vicharana Paro. So
Okay,
please
Prabhuji.
continue, Prabhupada.
Although Srimad Bhagavatam is counted among the Puranas, it is called the spotless Purana because it does not discuss anything material. It is liked by the transcendental Vaishnava devotees. The subject matter found in Srimad Bhagavatam is meant for Paramahamsas. As it is said, Paramo Nirmatsaranam Satam Vedyam. A Paramahamsa is one who does not live in the material world and who does not envy others. In Srimad Bhagavatam, devotional service is discussed to arouse the living entity to the transcendental position of jnana, knowledge, and vairagya, renunciation, as stated in the Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 2, 12 verse.
Tadadanan Nayo Jnana Vairagya Yuktaya Pashyantyatmani Cha Atmanam Bhaktyashruta Vrittaya.
The seriously inquisitive student or sage, well equipped with knowledge and detachment, realizes that absolute truth by rendering devotional service in terms of what he has heard from the Vedanta Shruti.
This is
This is
what the
not,
connection there. Caring from the
yeah,
Vedanta Shruti, rendering devotional service, equipped with knowledge and detachment. And he should be seriously inquisitive.
yeah.
All these are requirements. That is what is required for Paravidya. Please continue.
This is not sentiment. Knowledge and renunciation can be obtained through devotional service, bhaktya shruta grihityaya. That is, by arousing one's dormant devotional consciousness, Krishna consciousness. When Krishna consciousness is aroused, it relieves one from fruitive activity for economic improvement, and material enjoyment. This relief is technically called Naishkarmya, and when one is relieved, he is no longer interested in working hard for sense gratification. Srimad Bhagavatam is Srila Vyasadeva's last mature contribution, and one should read and hear it in an assembly of realized souls while engaging in devotional service. At such a time, one can be liberated from all material bondage. This was the course taken by Sanatana Goswami, who retired from government service to study Srimad Bhagavatam with learned scholars.
One thing that I really like here is that Prabhupada highlights this point that Bhagavatam is Vyasadev's last mature contribution. We always saw that as a mature contribution, but we never understood that importance that is the last mature contribution. Last means what? Last means after this he had nothing to write. Right? And for Prabhupada also, that is the last thing that he did when he was leaving his body. Till that moment, he was focused on translating or writing commentaries for Bhagavatam. Right? That's a nice thing. Okay, please continue reading the translation.
Yeah, text 18 translation. While Sanatana Goswami was studying Srimad Bhagavatam in the assembly of learned Brahmanas, one day the Nawab of Bengal and another person suddenly appeared. Text 19. As soon as all the Brahmanas and Sanatana Goswami saw the Nawab appear, they all stood up and respectfully gave him a sitting place to honor him.
This purport is also very sweet. Prabhupada writes a very nice purport.
Yeah. You want me to read the purport, Prabhuji?
Yeah, 20. Yeah, you have to scroll down.
Wait a minute.
You are showing on. Yes, although Nawab Hussain.
Yeah, text. Although Nawab Hussain Shah was a Mlecha Yavana, he was nonetheless the governor of the country, and the learned scholars and Sanatan Goswami offered him all the respect due a king or a governor. When a person occupies an exalted executive post, one should consider that he has acquired the grace of the Lord. In the Bhagavad Gita, 10.41, Lord Krishna says, Yat yat vibhudat tattvam srimat arjitam evava tat eva vagaccha tvam mama tejo amsa sambhavam. So know that all opulent beautiful and glorious creation spring from, but a spark of my splendor. Whenever we are something exalted, we must consider it part of the power of supreme personality of Godhead. A powerful man is one. A powerful man, Vibhudimat Sattvam, is one who has obtained the grace of the Lord or has derived some power from him. In the Bhagavad Gita 7.10, Krishna says, Tejas Tejas Vinam Aham. I am the power of the powerful. The learned Brahmana scholars showed respect to Nawab Hussain Shah because he represented a fraction of Krishna's power.
This is very important to note how Prabhupada is highlighting that whatever position a person may be holding, for that position we have to give the respect. Yes, at that point he is representing that thing, so we should be.
It is hurting our. I mean, it is hitting our heart, Prabhuji. Sometimes we don't like our project manager, right? We will not stand by obeisance.
Yeah.
We will sit
Even the politicians and others, no, they are really rascals. But what can we do? Prabhupada used to say, when these people before they come, he will criticize them left, right, and center. When they come, he will be very welcoming and talking to them nicely. And after they go again, you will start criticizing this rascal. So we cannot do, some things. It's a Kali Yuga, so we have to even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself, they are doing this. Sanatana Goswami are doing this. How much they?
Yes,
so
Prabhuji.
next one, Prabhu. Next one.
Yeah, text 20 translation. The Nawab said, "I went my physician to you. I sent my physician to you, and he has reported that you are not diseased. As far as he could see, you are completely healthy." Text 21. I'm depending on you to carry
from 21 to 10.
Sure,
Prabhu, raise your hand for reading or for asking some question.
No, Prabhu, I have a question. See, in the above sloka, it's mentioned that Bhagavatam can be read only by Vaishnavas. So then, what about me, Prabhu? Like me, we are not even completely Vaishnava. So
don't worry, I am also not a Vaishnava. I am reading. When you read, you become a
Vaishnava. Consider that we are Vaishnavas.
Vaishnava means a servant, no, Prabhu. Vaishnava does not. It's not a post where you have two hands on the head. Vaishnava means a servant. So everybody is servant.
Okay. In the servant position, you are a Vaishnava. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, when we are continuously studying Bhagavatam, then we are continuously Vaishnavas. When you do once in a while, we are once in a while Vaishnavas.
But what about these people, Prabhu? They do Bhagavad Saptahas and they take some money and
they do it for professional
conduct.
Thing, whatever.
Yes.
Well, that is ideally not supposed to be done. But what can we do? At least they are doing Bhagavatam instead of doing something. We have to do.
Okay.
Here, the thing is, one thing we have to understand is that we should not take an instant of this world, of the situation in this world. We should see it in a longevity point of view. Anybody who is doing it on a professional thing, trying to use Bhagavatam for their name and fame, they can't last long. How long will they last? There is somebody who is having a pure intention at heart, in purity of heart, pure intention of glorifying Krishna and helping everybody to come out of their material sufferings. Their thing will last longer, even after they leave. How much ever you may have a big crowd, Prabhu, now there are people who may use Bhagavatam to have huge crowds. Forget about Saptaha. They use it in so many different ways also to glorify themselves. How long can they last? They can't. And even if they have a big empire of some society, whatever they may be, after they leave, they just leave it. There's a nice, interesting discussion going on with some senior Vaishnavas in another group. As I was also going through the thing, that there are many of them who still say outside, they say that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is not is only a saint, is not avatar and all that, right? And if, another thing that they do is, oh, if Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is avatar, then my guru is also avatar. Like that, everybody calls them their guru, their acharyas avatars, right? But Phalena Parichayate, you see the associates of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, how pure they are. We are talking about Sanatana Goswami, Rupa Goswami here, Sarup Damodar Goswami. Then we have Ramananda Rai, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, Haridas Thakur, right? So many pure Vaishnavas. And they are all servants and devotees of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So, Phalena Parichayate, you see how their associates and descendants, they are all taking lessons and instructions and leading their life in a very in pure way, right? So that is one of the important things we should learn. We should find out. It's not enough to say, oh, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's feet, they have all these marks. Somebody will come and say, oh, my guru's feet also has all these marks. They can put some picture and say, this is my guru's lotus feet, and he has these marks. So he is also. And even this what is that Varanga Chantanangati, he is Varnavarna Hemango. Different people interpret it in their own way and say, oh, this represents my guru, like that. Longevity of their teachings and instructions and how it impacts the society is what is very important to note. If somebody gets a lot of crowd and etc., how that crowd is behaving is very important. You get it? Prabhu? How their behavioral pattern is. That's what Maharaj always used to say one thing, that if you are studying Bhagavatam or any of Prabhupada's books like Bhagavad Gita, CC, anything you take, it's your study should transform your behavior. So your behavior pattern should change. See, it's not just one-off behavior. Maharaj used to use this phrase behavioral pattern. It's a pattern, Prabhu. It's not just one day, one-off thing, coming and going like that. My pattern should be such that I have the natural inclination to do this as a habitual activity. We should be habituated to studying Prabhupada books. We should be habituated to chanting. We should be habituated to seva. These things we should be habituated. Should become our second nature, right? So it will happen when we are touched by the pure devotees and pure system, that transmitting system of Paravidya. Those who may use Paravidya for material gains, they will only get material gains. They will not produce pure devotees. Does it help, Prabhu? And over time, it will
Yeah,
see
absolutely,
that,
Prabhu, absolutely.
over time, you will see that it dies down. See, when the river is flowing, if the source keeps on producing more and more water, then the volume will grow and the flow will keep going. If the source is not producing water after or giving water after some time, the river will dry up, isn't it? So that is what a pure parapara, authorized bona fide parapara system does. It keeps on producing good devotees, that it keeps moving in the direction towards taking people towards Krishna, towards the Supreme God. Otherwise, initially for some time it will flow because it's a personality based culture, so it will go gush out like that. But after he leaves, then it will just die down. You get it? So that will be the difference we have to see.
Okay, Prabhu, thank you.
Nice question, Prabhu. Nice question. Any other points before we move on? Okay, let's move on. Who was reading from 21 onwards? Who's going to read? Was it Chitra Mataji? Okay, Shivam Prabhu, you wanted to read, Prabhu? Or you have a question?
Yes, Prabhu, I want to read. Yeah.
Yes, please go ahead. And Hemati Mataji had a question or you wanted to read?
No question, Prabhuji, just reading. Yeah, we can go
Okay,
ahead.
after
Prabhuji
Shivam Prabhu, you read it. Yeah, Shivam
Yes.
Prabhu can read in verses and then. Please
Okay.
continue, Shivam Prabhu.
Ji, Prabhuji. I'm text 21. I'm depending on you to carry out so many of my activities, but you have given up your governmental duties to sit here at home. Text 22. You have spoiled my activities. What is your intention? Please tell me frankly. Sanatan Goswami replied, you have no longer expect any service from me. Please arrange for someone else to tend to the management. Becoming angry with Sanatan Goswami, the Nawab said, your elder brother is acting just like a plunder. By killing by killing many entities, your elder brother has destroyed all Bengal. Now here now here sorry now here you are destroying all my plans. Sanatan Goswami said, you are supreme ruler of Bengal and are completely independent. Whenever someone commits a fault, you punish him accordingly. Hearing this, the Nawab of Bengal stood up and returned to his home. He ordered the arrest of Sanatan Goswami so that he would not able to leave. Puppets.
No need for purport, Prabhu. You carry on to the next.
Yeah. Okay. At this time, the Nawab was going to attack the province of Orissa, and he told Sanatan Goswami, "Come along with me." Sanatan Goswami replied, "You are going to Orissa to give pain to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. For this reason, I am powerless to go with you." The Nawab again arrested Sanatan Goswami and kept him in prison. At this time, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu departed for Vrindavan from Jagannath Puri.
So,
The two persons.
Hemati Mataji, sorry, Hemati Mataji.
Yes, Prabhu. The two persons who went to Jagannath Puri to inquire about the Lord's departure returned and informed Rupa Goswami that the Lord had already departed for Vrindavana.
I was just thinking of this point once, Prabhu's Mataji, is that see, in order to know Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's next activity, Rupa Goswami had to send two people all the way from Kolkata side, that area, to Jagannath Puri, and then they had to come back and report. Where all the system was those days, right? Now you can just simply call and find out, Prabhu, what is your plan, or thing, and then you send a WhatsApp message, and then they say, that's all done easily. See, so much of austerities they had to do. It's not an easy thing, but the purity of their love for Krishna, for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, surpassed all these, transcended all these difficulties, and that is why today we are reading about it. Or many years again, further down also you'll read about them and you will be inspired. If not for these things that they were doing, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would not have spoken all the beautiful transcendental instructions to these brothers, Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami, and they would not have done so much austerity and so much of Shastras, they would not have written. Only this one I think that meeting that they had, and they were able to get all the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was downloaded to the brothers. So please continue.
Upon receiving this message from his two messengers, Rupa Goswami immediately wrote a letter to Sanatana Goswami saying that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had departed for Vrindavana. In his letter to Sanatana Goswami, Srila Rupa Goswami wrote, "We two brothers are starting out to go see Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. You must also somehow or other get released and come meet us." Rupa Goswami further informed Srila Sanatana Goswami, I have left a deposit of 10,000 coins with the grocer. Use that money to get out of prison. Somehow or other, get yourself released and come to Vrindavana. After writing this, the two brothers, Rupa Goswami and Anupam, went to see Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu. Rupa Goswami's younger brother was a great devotee whose actual name was Sri Vallabha, but he was given the name Anupama Mallika. Sri Rupa Goswami and Anupama Mallika went to Prayaga, and they were very pleased to hear the news that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was there. At Prayaga, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to see the temple of Bindu Madhava, and many hundreds of thousands of people followed him just to meet him. Some of the people followed the Lord were crying, some were laughing, some dancing, and some chanting. Indeed, some of them were rolling on the ground exclaiming, Krishna, Krishna. Prayaga is located at the confluence of two rivers, the Ganges and the Yamuna. Although these rivers were not able to flood Prayag with water, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu inundated the whole area with waves of ecstatic love for Krishna.
Nice. So nice. Okay. Now, from here on, there is a description of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu with Rupa Goswami, and it's all about the Prayag where they are doing this thing. But now you understand the situation that Rupa Goswami has just told Sanatana Goswami that I have given money, you just do whatever it takes from your end and get out of this prison and somehow come to meet Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Now, it is not as straightforward as Rupa Goswami and Anupama Mallika how they went and met Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. For him, he is in a prison. For Sanatana Goswami is in a prison. And from the prison, he has to come out. And that itself is a big challenge. And then after coming out also, he should safeguard himself from not being caught by the Nawab's soldiers and all. So many risks are there, right? This is where it is very important to learn this chapter. Now, at this point, we'll take a break in the 19th chapter and we'll go to the 20th chapter because that is where the story continues. Because after this, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu meets Rupa Goswami and Anupama and he starts teaching Rupa Goswami about the various importance of devotional service. That is so beautiful verses are there. So it's a big chapter which you will read later. Let's come to chapter 20 now. And I will tell you, I think from the beginning itself, it starts. Verse number 3 onwards. So who would like to read now? Hemoti Mataji completed. Mataji, you have any question or you are done, Mataji?
Done, Prabhuji.
Okay. I saw your hand. You said that first. Okay. Who is next? Who wants to read?
Can I read?
Chitra Mataji? Was that Chitra
I think
Mataji?
somebody else said something.
Prabhu, Prabhu, you want to read, Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhu. Can I read, Prabhu?
Please, Prabhu. Third verse onwards. Yeah.
Yeah, text 3. While Sanatana Goswami was imprisoned in Bengal, a letter arrived from Srila Rupa Goswami.
Just the translations alone, Prabhu.
Text 4. When Sanatana Goswami received this note from Rupa Goswami, he become very pleased. He immediately went to the jail superintendent, who was a meat eater, and spoke as follows. Text 5. Sanatana Goswami told the Muslim jailkeeper, Dear sir, you are a saintly person and are very fortunate. You have full knowledge of revealed scriptures such as Quran and similar books. Text 6. If one releases a conditioned soul or imprisoned person according to religious principles, he himself is also released from the material bondage by the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
See, this is a very interesting, very common statement. But this is a very interesting statement because very generic statement. If you tell this, even a Muslim will say that, yeah, this is why we are doing all whatever they call it, no? That crime or jihad or whatever that they do. They'll say we are releasing the conditioned soul from based on our Quran and other things. If anybody who take this statement, they will apply generically to their particular religion. And this purport is very interesting. Would you be able to read this purport, Prabhu?
It appears from this statement that Sanatana Goswami, who was formerly a minister of Nawab, was trying to cheat the Muslim superintendent. A jail superintendent had only an ordinary educated or practically no education, and he was certainly not supposed to be very advanced in spiritual knowledge. But just to satisfy him, Sanatana Goswami praised him as a very learned scholar of the scriptures. The jailkeeper could not deny that he was a learned scholar because when one is elevated to an exalted position, one thinks oneself fit for that position.
This is such a beautiful statement. This statement is such an amazing statement. One line Prabhupada gives so much, he reveals so much truth here. Can you read the statement again, Prabhu?
The jailkeeper could not deny that he was a learned scholar because when one is elevated to an exalted position, one thinks himself fit for that position.
One thing oneself fits for that position. So even though we may not be qualified, we think that we are qualified. So when somebody say, "Oh, you are so learned, you are so nicely doing this," we will not say, "No, no, I am not qualified at all." Rather say, "Oh, thank you, so nice of you to understand my thing." So Sanatana Goswami being an astute minister, otherwise it's not possible to survive in that very difficult political role for such a long time. He was so perfect in it. That's why even the Nawab was dependent on him. Those people whom Nawab himself could not convince, he will send Sanatana Goswami and Rupa Goswami to do that service on his behalf. You somehow convince this person to go to fight. You somehow convince this person to give his wealth, etc., etc. So, such a beautiful statement. I really appreciated it. When one is elevated to an exalted position, one thinks oneself fit for that position. You contrast this with Muthu Maharaj. When he appeared, the professional reciters sing his glories. But you see what Muthu Maharaj is telling there? Let's connect that.
He says that I have not done, these things have not happened yet, they will be happening in future.
Yeah.
So you don't, it's like an insult for me now if you say like that.
Yeah,
he
yeah.
said.
See, if you can open that thing, fourth canto, I think 15th chapter, 17th chapter. Take fourth canto. 16th chapter. 16th chapter. No. 15th chapter, sorry. Coronation. And towards the end, you should go. Bhagavatam, 4th canto, 15th chapter. Last 3-4 verses. I'll tell you where to. 22 onwards. Please read the translations. 22 to 21.
King,
No, Prabhu. Okay, fine. We're going to go one by one. Keep it in advanced mode. And one day translation.
Oh, 1 minute, Prabhu.
Oh, Mataji is doing. No. You just do that. So click on the default.
Default.
Go in advanced view. Then it will come. You switch off Devanagari, switch off purport. Purport also. Yeah. Now you read it. Somebody can read it.
Should I, Prabhu?
Please.
Hare Krishna. Text 22,
Yes, please.
translation. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
King Patha said, O gentle Sutta, Magadha and other devotees offering prayers, the qualities of which you have spoken are not distinct in me. Why then should you praise me for all these qualities when I do not shelter these features? I do not wish for these words meant for me to go in vain, but it is better that they be offered to someone else. Better offer such prayers in due course of time, when the qualities of which you have spoken actually manifest themselves in me. The gentle who offers prayers to Supreme Personality of Godhead do not attribute such qualities to a human being who does not actually have them. How could an intelligent man competent enough to possess such exalted qualities allow his followers to praise him if he did not actually have them? Praising a man by saying that if he were educated, he might have become a great scholar or great personality is nothing but a process of cheating. A foolish person who agrees to accept such praise does not know that such words simply insults him.
So this is that leader's situation, right? Next to also, Mataji.
As a person with a sense of honor and magnanimity does not like to hear about his abominable actions, a person who is very famous and powerful does not like to hear himself praised.
See, this is the beautiful thing. Who genuinely praiseworthy, he will not like to hear himself praised. Just continue the last.
King continued, My dear devotees, headed by the sutta, just now I am not very famous for my personal activities because I have not done anything praiseworthy you could glorify. Therefore, how could I engage you in praising my activities exactly like children?
This is how he ends up. So this is the actual Bhagavata's way. But Sanatana Goswami knew that the jailer is the other side of this, so he glorifies him because he needs to get something done by this person. Let's get back to the second paragraph of this part.
Is this correct, Prabhu?
No, we will do one thing. The second part is actually philosophical. We'll go to the seventh verse. Continue the translation.
So,
I will let you read this thing. Somehow we will read this offline. Second part of it. Part. Just first part is very nice. So relevant to the situation. So seventh, please continue.
Text 7. Sanatana Goswami continued. Previously,
Oh,
I have.
Was that R.K. Maheshwari Prabhu reading or
Yes.
who was reading? Was it you?
Yeah,
No, who was reading it? I got confused a bit.
I was reading it.
Okay, please continue.
Prabhu, you read up to 10th verse, please.
Yeah, text 7. Sanatana Goswami continued. Previously, I have done much for you. Now I am in difficulty. Please return my goodwill by releasing me. Text 8. Here are 5,000 gold coins. Please accept them. By releasing me, you will receive the result of pious activities and gain material profit as well. Thus you will profit in two ways simultaneously. Text 9. In this way, Sanatana Goswami convinced the jailkeeper, who replied, Please hear me, my dear sir. I am willing to release you, but I am afraid of the government. Text 10:11. Sanatan replied, There is no danger. The Nawab has gone to the south. If he returns, tell him that Sanatan went to pass his tool near the bank of Ganges, and that as soon as he saw the Ganges, he jumped in.
He jumped in. Okay. Who wants to take over? Anyone else want to read from 12th verse onwards? Subhashni Mataji. Subhashni Mataji. Suchandra Prabhu, you, after Subhashni Mataji, yeah? That's no Subhashni Mataji. No? So long. Please carry on, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you, Hare Krishna. Tell him I looked for him for a long time, but I could not find any trace of him. He jumped in with his shackles, and therefore he was drowned and washed away by the waves. 13. There is no reason for you to be afraid, for I shall not remain in this country. I shall become a mendicant and go to the holy city of Mecca.
It's nice, you know. So if he says, I go to Vrindavan, that person will not relieve him. For him, the Mecca is the holy place. So you'll be happy, okay, somebody is going, you know, to Mecca. Because they thought that already Sanatana Goswami and Rupa Goswami are converted to Islam. Please continue with it.
Sanatana Goswami could see that the mind of the meat eater was not satisfied. He then stacked 7,000 gold coins before him. When the meat eater saw the coins, he was attracted to them. He then agreed, and that night he cut the Sanatana's shackle and let him cross the Ganges. In this way, Sanatana Goswami was released. However, he was not able to walk along the path of the fortress. Walking day and night, he finally arrived at a hilly tract of land known as Patada. 17. After reaching Patada, he met a landholder and submissively requested him to get him across the hilly tract of land. A man was expert in palmistry, was at that time staying with the landlord. Knowing about Sanatana, he whispered the following in the landlord's ear. The palmist said, this man Sanatana possesses 8 gold coins. Hearing this, the landlord was very pleased and spoke the following to the Sanatana Goswami. The landlord said, I shall get you cross the hilly tract at night with my own men. Now just cook for yourself and take your lunch. Saying this, the landlord offered Sanatana grain to cook. Sanatana then went to riverside and took his bath. Because Sanatana had been fasting for...
yeah, just 10 verses. So we'll come back in the next one. Maybe Chandra Prabhu, you want to read?
Okay, Prabhu.
Sorry.
Yes, sorry.
I know when we are reading, you know, it's such a nice flow that, yeah.
True. So this is now text 22, right?
Yes.
Because Sanatana had been fasting for 2 days, he cooked the food and ate it. However, having formerly been a minister of Nawab, he began to contemplate the situation. As a former minister for the Nawab, Sanatana could certainly understand diplomacy. He therefore thought, why is this landlord offering me such respect? Thinking this way, he questioned his servant, whose name was Isana.
See, this is very clever, huh? Because normally, why should someone unknown person give so much respect? There must be some reason behind it. So it's a very nice, smart way of thinking. Yes, Prabhu.
Sanatana asked his servant, Isana, I think you have some valuable things with you. Isana replied, yes, I have 7 gold coins. Hearing this, Sanatana Goswami chastised his servant, saying, why have you brought this death knell with you?
Death knell, huh? 7 gold coins.
Therefore, Sanatana Goswami took the 7 gold coins in his hands and went to the landlord. Holding the gold coins before him, he spoke as follows. I have these 7 gold coins with me. Please accept them. And from a religious point of view, please get me across that hilly tract of land. I am a prisoner of the government and cannot go along the way of the ramparts. It will be very pious of you to take this money and kindly get me across this hilly tract of land. Smiling, the landlord said, before you offered them, I already knew that there were 8 gold coins in your servant's possession. This very night, I would have killed you and taken your coins. It is very good that you have voluntarily offered them to me. I am now relieved from such a sinful activity.
That's very interesting. Huh? People know that killing is a sinful activity, but they don't mind doing it for the sake of little wealth.
Money. Yes.
Death knell, Prabhu.
Death knell. Bhagavatam has many such verses, many powerful verses in this regard. I am resisting myself to before going there because otherwise we will not move in this very powerful story. This particular section is very, very important. So I'm not trying to get distracted. Yeah, see how in those days they are also openly telling that I was going to kill you. So now you are saved from it. I am also saved. You are also saved. I just want the money you give and move on. This one. 31 onwards, who wants to read?
I will read, Prabhu. I will read.
Yes, Prabhu, please.
I am very satisfied with your behavior. I shall not accept these gold coins, but I shall get you across the hilly tract of the land simply to perform a pious activity.
See, this is a very important thing. See, that person was greedy. He was willing to kill even Sanatana Goswami to get that money. But by good behavior, Sanatana Goswami was able to create this impact, positive impact in this person's life. Otherwise, he doesn't care who is Sanatana Goswami, who is this person. He just wants the gold coins, right? So Maharaj always used to say this theistic conduct will always help. It always will give us the incentive. It may not look like in the immediate thing. There may be for those who are chalaki, those who are very smart, they are the ones who will survive in this world. But survive for how long? Right? In this world, living with without any enmity or uh, or, uh, or bad thoughts about somebody itself is a glorious life. Somehow or other, live Ajatasatru kind of a life. That's itself is glorious. So that's how he is able to change the heart of this man also. Okay, please continue. Prabhu.
This is Prabhu effect of Lava Matra Sadhu Sangha.
Yeah, Lava Matra Sadhu Sangha. Yeah, but you see, Sanatana Goswami, what he is going to do? It's even more super.
After this settlement was made.
No. Before that, verse 32.
Sanatana Goswami replied, if you do not accept these coins, someone else will kill me. Take it. kill me for them. It's better that you save from me the danger by accepting.
Oh my God.
See, this is
This is
this is the real nature of such Goswamis, you know. See, so many times we say Sanatana Goswami, Rupa Goswami, Sarada Madan Mohan, but unless you understand this behavioral pattern of the Goswamis, how will we appreciate Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Right? If see this thing here, beautiful. That person has changed his heart. He says, I don't want your coins. So what I will think normally, oh, thank God, that person has also changed his thing. And I have my 7 gold coins also saved now. My 8 gold coins are also saved now. Thankfully, he did not ask me the money. That's how we will think. But he's saying, no. Someone else will kill. At least you take and let me go mendicant. That is such a sweet thing. I really like this section. You know.
So we are sleeping peacefully, keeping death knells under our bed.
Yes. Yes, bro.
After crossing the hills, Sanatana Goswami
No, you are missing 33.
After the settlement was made, the landlord gave Sanatana Goswami 4 watchmen to accompany him. They went through the forest path for the whole night and thus brought him over the hilly track of the land.
See how this is helping. By he changed the heart of that man also, and at the same time, by his good behavior, he made him do some help to Sanatana Goswami also. Right? He was very happy to serve because anytime our character is good, no. Krishna will send somebody who will be attracted to it. Some birds of the light, similar feather flock together like that is, like mind attracts like it. So that is what we have to. For us, living a good life, living a saintly life is to have a peaceful life. And second thing is, naturally it will attract other saintly people. So our life will be surrounded by saintly people. And even if they are not saintly, by our touch, they may turn into saintly. Like nice Kauraprabhu, Dhira Dhira Janapriyo Priyakaro, Sadharma Samstapako. So this man, this businessman, he was also turned into gold by the touch of the Sintamani, like Kalparuksha, like Vaishnava. You see, let's go further.
After crossing the hills, Sanatana Goswami told the servant, Ishana, I think you still have some balance left from the gold coins. Ishana replied,
See, the
I
thing
shall
is,
now.
he said, no, Sanatana Goswami said, I use 7 gold coins. But then the businessman said, I know that already you have 8 gold coins.
Eight.
So that, so 7 he gave, that one extra is still with Ishan. You see? So now he's so much adamant. Sanatana Goswami is so much adamant to not have any touch of this wealth. He was just a few days before he was carrying so much gold coins or so much wealth, house and servants and everybody he had. But when he goes to see Caitanya Mahaprabhu, he wants to go absolutely free of any attachments or this mundane things. Like pound shape.
Beautiful.
Really sweet. Please continue.
Ishana replied, I still have 1 gold coin in my possession. The purport says Sanatana Goswami then said,
No, it's not purport, it is translation only.
Okay. Sanatana Goswami then said, take the coin and return to your home.
You get lost from here. That 1 gold coin you are attached to, that will also bring death knell to me. So you please go ahead.
After departing from Ishana, Sanatana Goswami began traveling alone with a water pot in his hand, simply covered with a torn quilt. He thus lost all his anxiety.
See, this is the thing. He lost all his anxiety. When you have nothing to lose, you don't have any anxiety at all.
Yes. Text 37. Walking and walking, Sanatana Goswami finally arrived at a place called Hajipura. That evening, he sat down within a garden. Then, in Hajipura, there was a gentleman named Srikanta, who happened to be the husband of Sanatana Goswami's sister. He was engaged there in government service.
Now, read the next 2 slokas.
Yeah.
And then
Srikanta had 3,000 gold coins.
300,000. 300,000.
300,000 gold coins with him, which had been given to him by the emperor for the purchase of horses. Thus, Srikanta was buying horses and dispatching them to the emperor. When Srikanta was sitting in an elevated place, he could see Sanatana Goswami. That night, he took a servant and went to see Sanatana Goswami.
So we'll stop here. We'll stop here this time also. Okay. Tomorrow evening we will continue. The story will become even more and more sweeter. I know we have already spent for some sufficient time. Did you feel the time when you are reading this story?
Yes, Prabhuji, it is not at all. We want more, we feel.
Just we didn't want to stop. I also didn't want to stop, but then want to keep it for tomorrow evening.
Yeah.
And this is really the beautiful relationship. And we have to understand the glorious characters of these great personalities. That is why Chaitanya Charitamrita is so sweet. You take Rupa Goswami, you take Haridas Thakur's passing away, how he was beaten in the 22 marketplace. At that time, how he was behaving, how Sargu, how his life changed. Everybody will give something or other. It's all Bhagavatam finally. Their life is Bhagavatam, the way they speak, the way they discuss, the way they act, everything is based on Bhagavatam principles. So we start with the 40th verse. Tomorrow evening, Krishna willing, I think around 7 o'clock will start. It will start. And then we try to go to the point, because now it's going to be a point where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Sanatana Goswami will be meeting. Really sweet. Thank you, Prabhu. Any points to discuss before we close?
Prabhuji, tomorrow what time are we doing?
Tomorrow evening, 7 o'clock ISP, Prabhu. So that will be like 1:32 for you, I think. Hope you will be available.
I'll be available.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Prabhuji, there is no description of any Sanatana Goswami also had the good amount of money is supposed to have. So there is no mention of this money dispersing to others.
No, he gave no out of the 10,000 coin. Oh, whatever he had, the
What- see,
house
some
and all that.
different people, no.
What?
He was-
Whatever he had with him in this thing. So that is left to whoever had. They enjoyed it. Whatever. They got the thing out of it. Because
bankers.
yeah, because his main aim was to see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
Okay.
And whatever he had, the house and other things he might have had, those all were just left and given to his descendants. Others would have taken it up. Nothing. Ultimately, his aim was just to meet Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That's all. What happens to my other things, I don't care. All of these are wealthy people. They left all their wealth. What is that? Tyaktva Turnam. That is the beautiful line that describes the nature of all these glorious our Goswamis. Turnam, Tyaktva Turnam, Ashesha Mandalapati. They were having Mandalapati, means they were the lords of so many things. They were very important positions they were holding. Tyaktva Turnam, just like that, like the stool, they just gave it up. Ashesha Mandalapati Srenim Sada Tuchavar. A beautiful thing to learn from them. And that is why they were so dear to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. They have been service that lasts for centuries, millions together. You know that? So nice, Prabhu. Many more things to understand actually, but we will keep reading Krishna Valley a little bit more to understand. And then when we get into the instructions, we will know more beautiful learnings from Chaitanya. Spiritual master or the Supreme Lord. And so nice, Prabhu. Krishandra Prabhu, you had anything to share?
No.
I saw you on mute.
It was really enjoyable. This was, you learn so much things from this because they were so rich and the way they gave everything. Oh my God.
There are many nice connecting verses in Bhagavatam. We will try to see that tomorrow. Even with a small one gold coin or one thing, also father and son become deadly enemies. Our brothers and brothers become deadly enemies. Like that verses are there in Bhagavatam. It is so true. And here it is shown, like, you just have one gold coin and that person is ready to kill. Very sweet. So much to learn. Now, the real thing will come. Thank you, Prabhu Mataji. We'll stop here. Thank you so much for your participation.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much.